Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast with PJ and Mike. Now find yourself a seat at their table.
Hello, and welcome to the Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast with PJ and Mike. I'm Mike.
I'm PJ.
And today we'll be reviewing the new Netflix movie, The Rip, starring Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And PJ, what I like about this movie is it reminds me of you and I, two buddies who are making a movie together.
Yes.
I love movies where you have like a duo that you like always seeing together. A De Niro, Joe Pesci, a Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson kind of thing. So I don't know. When I see these guys together, it just makes me happy, man. I don't know what else to say.
When they work together, I think they're much better when they work together. Because I know people shit on Ben Affleck all the time.
Yeah.
And I really don't know why, because I think he's a good actor. And I think he's a phenomenal director.
Absolutely.
But when he works with Matt Damon, he's that much better. And I feel like Matt Damon always seems to get lost in the shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, because he's a great actor also. But when you put them together, all eyes are always on them.
Yes. So, and folks, I'm going to do light spoilers here. I'm not going to spoil everything because this movie does have a little bit of a twist. And this isn't like a gigantic film where I feel like I have to talk about spoilers. It's not that kind of movie.
Right.
And PJ and I always talk about this. A movie's at its best, but it knows what it is. And this movie knows what it is. So let me tell you a bit about the movie. This is from Wikipedia and some IMDb just to kind of give us a better synopsis. So this is a 2026 action film. It's written and directed by Joe Carnahan. This guy also directed The A-Team, The Gray, Blacklist, which I think is a TV show. So
he did The A-Team, the one with like
I think Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, yeah, the movie that was out a couple of years back now.
Yeah.
It had the dude from the UFC in it, whose name I can't think of. I don't know.
Rampage. Yep. So yeah, this guy has, these are like that same kind of realm. Anyway, like I said, it stars Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. There are two police officers in Miami. They're basically like the narcotics division. And it also stars Steven Yeun. That's the guy.
That's Walking Dead.
Yes, Glenn.
Yeah.
Nice. And it also stars Teyana Taylor, which I guess she got more bigger recently because of One Battle After Another. So those are like your four really big.
Those are your top roles? Okay.
Yeah, and there's other actors in the movies are fine. One guy, I can't think of his name. You've seen him in tons of movies. He's very good, but those are the ones probably like the more marquee names.
All right.
And the movie's inspired by a true story of Miami County Police about a Captain Chris Cassiano, and tells the story of a group of police officers who, during a raid on a hidden cash operation, find out their trust has been broken down between the members, and they suspect each other of trying to steal a large sum of money. So just to give you my synopsis, that's kind of the IMDb thing, is just to give you an idea how the movie starts. Basically starts off with a murder of one of the police officers. And you don't know and they're wearing masks. You don't know if it's cartel or if it's actually the police force itself. It's kind of like an internal affairs kind of thing.
Like a dirty cop sort of situation?
Yes, exactly, PJ. So that kind of starts the tone of the film. And then what happens is Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, they're kind of the sergeants. They kind of they're the ones who lead these kind of raids. And they get an anonymous tip that there's a stash house that has, let's say it's $150,000 in it. But when they go there, it's actually $20 million. And it kind of reminds me of Training Day when, Denzel Washington.
Denzel.
Right. When they do that thing where like, we found $5 million, but they really found 20, but everyone takes home $15 million. So that's what happens in the film, where they're kind of, there's a little bit moral dilemma where you kind of run into this large sum of money, right? And then you try to, you're not really sure which characters are trying to take that extra large sum of money, and you're trying to see who's like the rat in it. So it kind of has that dynamic. So you're trying to figure out who's the rat who might have killed that other police officer. And at the same time, is someone trying to take the rest of it off. So that other millions of dollars. So that kind of how the movie goes. And I don't want to say this movie look, at the end, there's a little bit of a twist here, folks. There's a little bit of a like, whoa, kind of thing. And they spell it out for you. You don't really have to, you could probably figure it out on your own as it goes, but it doesn't mean that it's not a fun ride, PJ. It's a really.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is the tone of this movie like popcorn action flick? Is it a more comedy? Because with those two guys, they both do so many different things. They do a lot of action movies, a lot of comedy movies, a lot of dramas.
Yep.
I was just wondering where this fits, because like if you were to compare it to Good Will Hunting, that's their other big movie, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it will be anything like that. So what's the genre of this movie?
Yeah, this is like an old school straight action film.
Okay.
It's like this. maybe the best to compare would be like a movie like Identity. Remember that early 2000s
Yeah.
Identity? There's not really many jokes. There is, but it's not like it takes the whole tone out of
Right.
it, or it's like, ooh, like cheesy, or
Right.
like, even though it's just released on Netflix, it doesn't feel like a Netflix movie. It's shot really well. The action's good. The
I
acting's
was
really good.
surprised this was
Mhm.
released on Netflix because I just feel like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are pretty big guys, big name actors. You wouldn't
Yeah.
think they would go direct to streaming like that. I would have thought they'd want a theater release because I bet you a movie like this makes a ton of money just because those two guys are in it.
Yeah, I think you saw plenty of interviews with Matt Damon talking about how, like, there used to be a secondary market where you would release a movie and then make it a bunch of more money on DVD.
Right.
This is that kind of movie, like, and I think, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and I think they were recently on Joe Rogan, where they're basically kind of saying, like, our careers are not just getting, not that it's over, but even Matt Damon says, like, a movie like when he's coming out with The Odyssey with Christopher Nolan, like, it's like, I'm not gonna get these kind of roles anymore. Just the nature of the beast. Even Sean Penn said that recently about One Battle After Another. He's like, I don't get roles anymore. He's like, I'm an
Right.
older guy now. He's like, for me to be the Paul Thomas Anderson movie and then be the villain of it, like, of course I'm gonna sign on that shit. So I think the reason Matt Damon and Ben Affleck decided to use number one, look, they're like down to earth guys. Number one, they want to get paid.
Yeah,
they're
for sure
actors.
they wanna get paid.
I don't think they're in the realm of the paycheck of like a Leo DiCaprio or The Rock. So they're still kind of like I'll say a little bit of the blue collar guys. I'll say that, and they talk about too, like, this is the way things are going. I think they would love for a movie like this to be released in theaters. And this movie, which I really like about it, is it does feel like a movie that would have been released in the early 2000s, where
Right.
like, I picture you and I seeing this together, and after we go to the diner and we talk about, oh man, I like this part, and that was kind of cool. Oh, did you get tricked by that? And yeah, you're not gonna watch it a million times. It's not a Die Hard. It's not that kind of movie. But doesn't
Right.
mean that it's bad. It's fine. It's good. It's worth
Movies
watching.
don't have to be movies you go back to every year and watch them over and over and over again. They
Yeah.
can just be entertaining once or twice and be done with it. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I prefer that because, when you like a movie so much and you go back and watch it over and over again, and I'm
Yep.
sure you have movies like that. I know I do. I rewatch Clerks once a year. I rewatch
Yeah.
Mallrats once a year. I
Mhm.
rewatch some of the Superman movies once a year, like the old school ones. And I love to rewatch them, but it takes away your time to watch something new
Yeah.
because you always feel like you want to make time to go back to your favorites. So
Mhm.
sometimes you watch a movie, you really like it, but you don't want to see it again. Isn't a bad thing. Just means you have more time to see something else.
Yeah, no, exactly. And this is, like I said, it was kind of refreshing. It kind of reminded me of the movie F1. I know that movie got nominated for Best Picture. I think it's a bit of a stretch. I think they have to fill 10 slots in, so they have to give it to it.
Well, I don't know why they have to fill 10 slots, but they have to fill 10 slots.
And that does not mean that F1's, I enjoy them. That's one of my favorite movies of the past year. I really enjoyed that movie. And I think the reason, it was just a fun movie to watch. And these movies have been done before. Yes, but I don't know, maybe because things are just oversaturated with franchises. It just felt nice to see a simple movie. It was only an hour and 45 minutes.
Longer than that for some reason when I was reading those. An hour and 45 minutes is the perfect length for a movie.
Yeah, I think it says like basically 2 hours, but when it ended, it was an hour 45 minutes. So I don't know if it's like 10 minutes of just
credits. And stuff.
I didn't stick around and find out. It's not like there's going to be like they come back to Avengers Doomsday kind of extra scene or anything.
I love an hour and 45-minute movie. It is my favorite time frame for a movie. It's right to the point, no fluff. That is, an hour and 45 minutes, 90 minutes to an hour and 50 minutes is the sweet spot for a movie for me. When you start getting these 4-hour-long epics, you lose my interest real quick because nothing is that important that you have 3 hours worth of shit to say. I think the movies at that length, tight.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think the reason why a lot of movies today are longer now is because of streaming, because people want content. So they go, oh, we need to have more.
Yeah, but I disagree with that. But that's why they do it. But I disagree with the concept of it.
Exactly. And, hey, you want things to be tight, and this movie's tight movie.
I don't want any fluff. I don't want any waste.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I don't really have much negative to say about this film. All I guess the negatives would be like, this isn't a mind-blowing film. It's just a fun kind of, say somewhat cat and mouse, and it's a mystery. You want to find out, who's the rat, who's really gonna try to skim some money off the top of this thing. Like I said, you love when Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, when they bump heads, or any movie like that, like Joe Pesci and De Niro, when they bump heads, you kind of like when they start getting frustrated with each other. But there's just a lot of chemistry. And I gotta say, I love that guy, Steven Yeun, Glenn.
He's great. Yeah, he's a good
He's
actor.
a great actor. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten more roles. Maybe he's done smaller films. I know he did Nope a few years ago.
At one point, he was. I mean, there's a rumor I read online, but I don't know how true it is. But at one point, he was in the running to play Nightwing.
Huh,
Yeah,
I can see
they
that.
were trying to go a different route. This is back when he was still on Walking Dead, so he was still on the younger side.
Yeah.
And so he would have fit that right age bracket. And of course, the internet
Yeah.
got mad because that's what the internet does. But he was, I believe, he was at one point in the running for Nightwing, and I always was like, oh, that's interesting. Because not who I would pick, but not a bad choice. When I heard it, I'm like, oh, I could get behind that.
Yeah, in this movie, he's one of those guys I call, like, sounds weird, like a pro actor. Every movie,
Yeah.
anything you see him, he's going to be good in it. You know, he just does this, big or small, he does great. And actually,
I think he was a big part of the reason Walking Dead was so successful.
Absolutely.
Because he was so likable in that role as Glenn that you rooted for him. And when you start to see, like, is this guy going to make it? And all those, we know what happened eventually. He doesn't make it. That was part of the comics. That wasn't a surprise, I don't think, to anybody when he died. But, in the beginning, when you're watching the show and all these things are teased, like, he was so likable in the role because he was so good at his job. I think he's a huge part why that show is as successful.
Oh,
as
absolutely. Yeah, because you have Rick, you have Glenn, and then you have Daryl. I think they're probably like the most likable characters, but especially Glenn and Rick, they had the most depth. Daryl's really more of a one-dimensional character.
He really is. I don't understand why everyone loves that character so much.
That's no diss against Norman Reedus or anything.
No,
that's how the character's written.
But the character is not. Look, everyone loves that character. Not to get off track, but everyone loves that character because they thought he was a good-looking guy. He was the cool guy on the show.
He got the crossbow.
He got the crossbow. He got the vest and all that other stuff. And then everyone flocks to him. But he really, like you said, one-dimensional. There's very little character development for that guy.
Yeah.
I actually think, what's his face? Michael Rooker, who played his brother. Oh, I thought was much better character.
Yeah, I love that character. I know he's a terrible. I mean, like he's a a despicable character. He's a character you're not supposed to like.
Him.
Oh man, every time you saw him on the screen, you're like, no. But yeah, it was great seeing Ewan back on screen. I haven't seen him since. Honestly, Walker, I haven't seen the movie Nope. I know he has a pretty big part in that film. Anyway, I feel like he should have been. I don't know, maybe. I don't know what he's doing with his career. Maybe he doesn't want to do kind of action movies, but I feel like his name's Glenn also, Glenn Powell. I feel like kind of like they're both good looking guys, they're young. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
But anyway, I enjoyed seeing him on screen. And then Teyana Taylor. Look, I don't know. The only movie I saw her before, this one was One Battle After Another. So I don't know if she has a huge filmography or anything, but
let's look it up and see.
All I can say about her is I want to say she plays the same character as the one she plays in One Battle Another. It's maybe very much alike, the way she speaks and kind of her tone. She's maybe less, I'll say, bratty or intense. She kind of just plays like a regular, good, solid cop in it, But
I'm looking at her filmography, and I haven't seen anything at all that she's in. So there's
she
that.
plays her part fine. There's nothing negative. And like I said, with this movie, like I said, the way it was written, it's fine. For me, the guy who directed also wrote it. So he's been, like I said, he's been in the industry for a long time now. But for me, when I first saw it, or at the end of it, I was like, I didn't find out who wrote it until I was getting ready for this podcast. But I was like, it felt like a movie like, oh, maybe this is someone's first time they wrote a screenplay and it got picked up. It kind of had that vibe where it was just simple. Here's the plot, the good beats, thing happens, twist, resolution. And then it had all those things. So it's a very straightforward movie. But like I said, this is a good time. It goes fast. It's like I said, it's only an hour and 45 minutes. You enjoy it. And I don't really know what else to say. It is a lot of fun. And like I said, a movie like this, I really wish Netflix makes more movies like this. Not in terms of just like action. I'm talking about in terms of tone.
Right.
Like movies like Happy Gilmore 2 or Alonia Holmes, or even Beverly Hills Cop, where it's a little cheesy. It feels very fan surfacey. It's just feels just very rushed and like not really taken seriously.
Well, I think they're trying to make a turn because I mean I haven't seen this, but from the clips and the trailers that I've seen, it looks really good. I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of that Frankenstein movie, but that was another step in the right direction for them.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they're trying to. I think this Warner Brothers thing going on with them has them trying to turn that corner, because I don't think you can own Warner Brothers. Like if they do wind up buying it and not put out Warner Brothers quality movies, I just don't think you can do that. Warner Brothers is too big a name. Sure, does it have problems? Yeah. Is it one of the more troubled studios? It is. But I just think you can't own a studio as big as Warner Brothers and be in that conversation and put out shit quality movies at that point.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to tank that brand.
100%, PJ. Great point. And
then, we think about Netflix as something that's been around for a long time, right? And it has been, because it was the mail away. You were just renting movies. And then even when it went to streaming, it was really just streaming movies from other studios and things. I know it's been a while since they've been in their own original content. It's not like they're new at it, but also it does take time to get to that point. And I think now they've been doing original content for so long that, that's what I think. I mean, I know they've been around forever, but really, how long does it take to become a successful studio with high quality production value? These were people that started off sending you DVDs in the mail, and look where they've come from. So, I mean, yeah, the tone on a lot of their stuff is not great. The quality on a lot of their stuff is a little hallmarky.
Yes. It's gotten real bad with the hallmarky stuff.
Yeah.
Real bad.
But I think like I said, I think they're really turning that corner now. So a lot of the stuff I've seen from them recently, original content, has been really good. Even if you look at Wednesday Addams, right? You look at that.
Yeah.
The production on that, the tone of that, the vibe of that is way different than some of their other stuff. And that's in a Netflix original. So I think they're getting there. And I think, it's funny to say they're getting there because they're the biggest streamer probably in the world still. But I think if they keep doing the right stuff with the movies they're making, I think they're going to be getting more awards.
Yeah, no question. And I know it was an interview, I guess I think it was on Joe Rogan with Affleck and Damon. They're saying like Netflix wants you to do what's it called, secondary viewing, where you're on your phone and then write it differently to repeat the plot a couple of times. But I didn't really get that too much in here. I mean, a little bit, but because I think it's just a part of the plot anyway with this movie. So I don't think it's as jarring as maybe as other films where it's a bit more blatant. I can't think of the top of my head of other Netflix stuff, but it really wasn't that bad. Just to kind of wrap it up, to give this film, I would give it a 7.5 to an 8. It's a solid movie. It's a solid movie.
Is it as good as or better than their previous movies working together? The big ones are probably Dogma and Good Will Hunting. Would you put it above or below?
Oh, below, yeah. I mean, I
think
both
of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is still a fun movie. Like, it's not better than, Affleck's The Town, one of those, like, no way. Or it's not better than, like, a Born Identity, no way. But it's still, if you're going to watch this, you want to watch an action movie at home, with some mystery, this is for you. It's a good time. Like I say, it's a good time, man. It's really good.
All right.
I think about, what was it? Siskel and Ebert, they would say, I had fun at the movies. I think sometimes as a culture, we've all gotten very hypercritical of everything. Look, I'm guilty of that. Everyone has.
Oh, everyone is guilty of that. Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's like, there's nothing wrong with this movie. It's like, this is a tasty burger. That's what it is. It's a very good burger. Like I said, you're not going to revisit 100,000 times, but it's still a tasty, it's a good night out. I'll say that.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it. It was on my radar anyway, because I really do like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. But even if I didn't know anything about the movie, I like those guys enough that I would be like, oh, I'm going to watch this movie as soon as I get an opportunity.
Yeah.
So it is on my radar, and I will watch it, and maybe we'll revisit it, and I'll let you know what I thought.
Yeah.
After I get a chance to see it. But I am looking forward to it. You've sold me on it. I think I'm going to like it. You would know if I'm going to like it because you know the movies I like. So if you think I'm going to like it,
I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
I said for me, so the reason why I think I got a kick out of it is because like it reminded me of us being kids or just making movies together or anything like that. It just felt like, oh man, this is the time where I watch with my buddies, like, oh man, let's just grab a pizza and watch a movie. Bam. This is it.
It's one of those movies we would head to right after school, right to the theater.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, folks. Same time, same table.
Have a good one.
Boys and girls, lunchtime is over. For more information, visit their website at coolkidslunchtable.podbean.com. Follow the boys on all social media platforms. Just search Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast. Now get to class before you get detention.